Alright, gang, welcome back to our 100 horsepower challenge on Ostbeck. It is now March. We have skipped a couple of months, as you can tell. I did, as I mentioned in the last episode, do some of the work off camera. So I did the second application of fertilizer in the field we drilled, etc., all off camera. Took care of that. So that's all done. So it is now March. We do have 2 fields to harvest today. This one that we're currently harvesting, which is the biggest one we own, and then the first one we started with, the small one. The one we drilled in the last episode, that'll probably be for the following episode. And just to kind of give you a ballpark for this series, because it's coming to a close here, we have 2 episodes left counting this one in this series. So we're going to harvest the fields in this episode. We're going to cart all of the resources back, more than likely, unless they're really good to sell, back to our silo to hold and store. And then likely in the following episode, we'll harvest the other field and then sell everything, including all of the items on the farm itself, and see what we end up with. My guess right now, it's early guess, but my guess is we're going to be ending up with around $250, somewhere around that, $250,000. That's my guess after we're selling everything and everything's said and done. It'll probably be a little bit higher than that though, but that's my guess. Really just depends on the crop prices, right? So we've got sorghum here, which is not going to be the best to sell right now, and it's not going to be the best to sell in the next episode, more than likely, unless we are to skip all the way until the winter, which we're not going to do. So, but the field that we drilled in the last episode is soybeans. It should be done somewhere around the time period when it's best to sell soybeans, and soybeans make us a decent amount of money. So we'll have to see how it goes, but I know the field that we're harvesting today, well, both fields we're harvesting today, are not going to be best to sell, but they may be better to sell today than to store, like I mentioned. So we'll have to take a look at it and see how big the drastic drop is. If it's not drastic, I'm just going to hold on to it and then sell everything in the next episode, because the next episode, with the exception of that field over there, and then what we're going to be doing is selling stuff. So if I can, and what I mean by selling stuff is I mean selling, like, you know, the shed, the equipment, etc. So if I can have something else just to add to that, I'm going to do so. But we'll see. Like I said, we'll see how things go. Evidently, I just earned some rewards points, so that's cool, I guess. But how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. We've got a full load here. Let me get out of first-person view. Gonna unload this into the trailer here. But how's everybody doing? Hopefully you're all doing well. I gotta sprint all the way back to our farm here. Hopefully you're doing well, staying safe, all that good stuff. At the time of this recording, I'm getting ready to leave to go out of the country, to Toronto specifically, so not too far. It's about an 8-hour drive-ish, somewhere around that. It'll be probably a little bit longer than that, with making stops. We have to pick somebody up along the way. I told you I'm doing this for work. So there's about 4 of us. Well, there's technically 5, but 4 of us going up in a car. The 5th person is not near us, so they're going up separately. But so yeah, I'll be out of the country for a couple of days. I've said this 1,000 times, so I'm just gonna make sure I repeat it, just in case you're new here. I will be out of town for a couple of days when FS22 releases, unfortunately, but it's only a few days. I'm not going to be behind by that much. I think it comes out Tuesday, and I'll be back Friday night. So more than likely, unless I'm absolutely exhausted, which is there's a good chance, I probably will do a recording that night in FS22, which means we should be set and ready to go on Saturday morning to begin FS22 videos. So not too far, just a couple of days off. Alright, so we're unloading here. So people got in the middle of the harvester there, and they're just stopping and watching me unload, I guess. But I did take a peek quick at the prices here, and they're actually not too bad in March. They're not good, but they're not too bad. They're going to be way worse if we wait till June, like I had originally mentioned here at the beginning of the episode. So you can kind of scratch that idea. We're just going to sell the sorghum, and we're going to sell, I think it's oat in the other field. We're just going to sell those outright today. Like I said, we don't really necessarily probably need the extra funds, but we're going to do it anyway just to make sure we get the most for our money, right? Now, when we finish harvesting this field here today, we will be selling this field back today as well. So this is a pretty penny for this field, so we're going to get a lot out of that. But I'm not really considering, selling this back towards the $150,000 goal, which obviously we're only $40,000 away, so we're easily going to get there. It's not that big of a deal, but as I mentioned early on, the goal here is to, make $150,000 from profit of, growing and selling crop, not from fields and everything else, right? So that's why we weren't really counting the money that we made from the trees, turning them into wood chips, right? We weren't really counting that towards the 150,000. I mean, there's probably a few $1,000s in there that, you know, are from wood chips that, you know, it is what it is. But you get what I mean. We're doing the best we can to not get that $150,000 utilizing woodworking trees, wood chips, should I say, or anything else like that. And we've easily accomplished that goal. 40,000 away from here, even if it was 60,000 away, we're still going to accomplish that easily with 3 fields harvested. Not a problem. Not going to be a problem. But yeah, fun series. If I had more time on this series, we probably would have made, you know, a little bit more of a difficult challenge, maybe a few other, you know, goals as well, objectives as well in the challenge. But since we started it so late and we only had, you know, a month, not even that probably, yeah, about a month, probably about a month, a little over a month, I guess, to do this challenge, I wanted to make sure it was something that we could accomplish, especially since we know there is absolutely zero way that we're going to succeed in the Ohio Richlands series that we're still trying to finish up. Now, speaking of that series, that one is going to go the distance until I get back, right? So there will probably be an Ohio Richlands episode that comes out, you know, Thursday or Friday, whatever it may be. This one, with only 2 left, there will be at least one day that there won't be, I guess, an episode, unless I have the time and I do another episode on the Ohio Richlands series. I think in the last episode I said there would be, of that series, I said that I think there would be 3 more episodes of that, but there might end up being 4, since we're going to end this one in 2 episodes. But we'll see. It just depends on how long it's taking me on that series. I think 3 episodes is probably going to be plenty for me to finish that series off, to mow. I keep saying mow. To harvest everything up, and then, you know, have an episode to do the final harvesting and sell everything. I think it's going to be enough. Now, that series, we are going to be jumping quite a number of months during the next couple of episodes, because we want to try to get the most money we can. We want to see what we get to now that we know we failed, and we've kind of started to work on some pretty heavy, unrealistic expectations there. I just want to see what we get to, right? Will we make 100 million? I still don't think we're going to even make that, which was our new goal. I think we're going to come close, but I don't think we're going to make that. Unlike this series, that series, when we sell everything, that is going to count towards our total $100 million, right? The only thing we can't sell is anything that we still have that we started with. So like the house and the barn and the original silos, etc., etc. If we still have that New Holland, which so far we do, like, we're not going to be able to sell that, right? Because we started with that. If we got rid of it already, that's one thing, but you get what I mean, I'm sure. All right, so my stomach's growling. I don't know if you just heard that or not. I must be hungry. My time, I've talked about this, I'm sure, already, but my time, I'm sorry, gang. Why can't you just walk around? Just walk around. What's your problem? My time is all screwed up still to this day. I've been back from Italy now, I guess, for about a week now. Yeah. Well, slightly over a week I've been back. And it really screwed me up when I was over there. So when we were over there, they did the time change. So they had their daylight savings time change. And then we come back here, and a week after getting back here, the daylight savings time changed here. So I'm all screwed up. I was starving this morning at like 10 a.m. Starving at work. Starving. Normally I don't eat until 1 or 2 o'clock in the day. I don't normally eat much of a breakfast, if I eat breakfast at all. Maybe a donut every once in a while, or a piece of toast, but really I don't eat breakfast that often. I don't normally eat until 1 or 2. I normally will have some kind of caffeine in the morning, soda or something. But other than that, I don't really take part in breakfast very often. If I go somewhere, like if I'm on vacation or something, absolutely, certainly, but at home, I don't do that very often, which I know that might surprise some people. I know everybody likes, well, not everybody, most people like breakfast, but I've never been a big breakfast guy. Like, I love waffles, I like pancakes from time to time, and I like my donuts, certainly, and then bacon, obviously. Who doesn't love bacon, right? But otherwise, I don't really, it's just, doesn't really do anything for me. I don't know why. Anyway, going on rant, going on tangent again. I do that quite often, as you all know. Sometimes I'm in a mood to rant and tangent about something. And that was the case there. But we're carrying on here. We're doing all right. We're almost done with our second headland pass. It's easy for me to say. And we'll be getting a little bit more of the traditional path after this. Now, when that trailer gets full, we're going to have to put this on a worker for a brief period of time. And we know when the worker does their thing, they do not go the way you expect them to go. So, we'll hopefully have enough out of here to allow the worker to be able to do the path they want to do and not get full and then stuck in the middle of the field. And then I have to back it up for an eternity because this thing does not move fast backing up. It's a good day, though. Good day. This is a good series. This has been a lot of fun. I cannot wait for FS22, gang. I've got so many crazy ideas in my head. These ideas that may not even come to fruition, but I've got these ideas of challenges to do. I mean, I hope I can figure out ways to make them work and enjoyable for you. But if they fail, they fail, right? I mean, we just kind of abruptly abandon the series if it fails, right? If it's not working as I expected, or if it's not enjoyable for all of you. I certainly don't want to make a video if it's not something you're enjoying watching, right? That's just a waste of my time and yours. So I'm not saying that these ideas I have in my head are going to be perfect. There are going to be some that probably are going to be, you know, terrible. But in my head, on paper, they seem like they're going to be a lot of fun and stuff that not many people, if anybody, that I've seen on YouTube for Farming Simulator have done. So stay tuned for that. We'll see how it goes. I've been wishy-washy a little bit on my, I've talked about this, I know, recently, but my members, I'm starting a specific series, probably once a month, honestly, for them, right? A members-only series. Now, that series is going to be probably a little bit, each of the episodes, since they're only going to be probably once a month, they're going to be a little bit longer, right? Hour and a half, probably, I'm sure. Somewhere around there. A little bit longer than what I do here. Like, normally I try to shoot for 30 to 45 minutes, right? But those are going to be probably around, you know, double or close to double, right? But I'm kind of, I'm being very wishy-washy on what I want to do. I don't know if I want to just run an actual series on that, like mini-series, you know, like maybe it's we start a series and it ends in, you know, 6 episodes, right? So half the year we do one series, and then another half of the year we do another series, or what? I'm kind of leaning towards that, actually, doing like a mini-series, like a 6-episode series, and then, you know, another 6-episode series for the last half of the year or whatever. And then every once in a while throwing up an extra bonus video of something that it's in my head that I was just talking about, right? Something that's on paper in my head, these challenges that I have an idea about, and seeing how my members react to it, right? Because they're going to give me a pretty good indication on if it's something that would be interesting for all of you to watch or not. So that's kind of where my head's at least. Will that ever come to fruition, or will that actually be how it runs? I don't know. The series, I think that will be how it's going to be ran. I'm pretty confident and pretty happy with that, I think. But the challenge stuff and the new ideas and stuff, and maybe running, you know, some kind of a test challenge, I don't know for sure if that will be the path I go or not, or if I just put it out there and hope for the best. Who knows? Perhaps it might be, you know, from a case-by-case situation, right? If I'm in there and I think it's running really well, if I think it's going well, then maybe, right? But I think it just is going to depend. And here goes the worker doing what he wants, which is fine. Okay, you're going to stop running into me? No, you're not going to. Okay, just keep doing your thing. Go ahead, buddy. So anyway, like I said, that was a little bit off, well, not really. I guess it's kind of off tangent from this actual specific series, but you know how I am. I like to give you guys a lay of the land, a little rundown of where my head's at, what I'm thinking, and what I'm planning to do as we move forward, right? That was a terrible backup job there, Z. Probably should have just waited until everything was unloaded from the harvester before I put it on a worker. But you know, I thought he was going to go the way I expected. But there it is. That's a prime example of knowing and understanding that they're not going to do what you expect them to do. So let's take this to the to our cell. Well, actually, you know what? Let's see. Is it best at our sell point or is it best somewhere else? Market stall 2407. So it's actually better elsewhere. And since we are so close to the shop here, we're going to take it to the shop. We're about, well, it might be slightly longer this way, but it's not by much. It's pretty close to about an even trip, regardless if we go to the shop or if we go to our market stall. So we'll head to the shop, and I'll meet you there. All right, we are unloading here, gang. 18,727. Not too shabby. I mean, you knew it was going to be less because of the time period, but I mean, we're probably going to get to 150 without any real harm, or we're really not even having to try. We're probably not even going to be close to being finished with the harvest and get to 150,000 on the sorghum field alone. So I'll meet you back there. All right, we're still going along smoothly here. We still got quite a bit here left to harvest. It is taking a while because of the hill and how slow the actual harvester is, but been good progress. We're almost 150,000 already, so things are going really well for us. I'm going to leave that there for a minute. I'm going to call an audible here. I said we were going to sell everything in the next episode. We're going to sell a few things now. There are a number of things we can sell now. We're not going to utilize them again anyway, so we might as well go ahead and just get rid of some of them, understanding that it may, make the next episode a little bit shorter than what I was anticipating. Because we have to harvest this field, right? We still have a bunch of trees here, which we did not get rid of. We don't really need them. Remember, the goal here was to try to get to 150,000 without utilizing the trees as much as possible to get there. I think we've pretty much accomplished that, so I don't really necessarily need to remove any further trees, I don't think. But there are things here that we can certainly get rid of. I'm not going to get rid of this yet because we're going to drop straw on the oat field here, so we can pick all of that up. But the drill, the sprayer, the harrow, all that stuff, we do not need any of that anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead and sell it. It's unfortunate because we have so many, or so many amounts of, we have so many liters, I guess is what I should say, liquids of fertilizer and herbicide still here that's just going to go to waste. There's no really, there's nowhere really to sell it, unfortunately. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Realistically, we don't really need this tractor anymore either. We're going to keep it for now just to help us, as we're commuting stuff back and forth to the sell point. But otherwise, we really don't need it. So now what we're likely going to do with this field, because we're not going to sell this field, obviously, until the next episode, because we have our everything else sitting on it, right? We have our shed and everything else sitting on this land. What we'll probably do, harvest it today, leave the straw there. Following an episode when we harvest the field up there by the church, the hill field, we'll pick up the straw on that episode as well. So that gives us a little bit more to do than just harvest one field and sell everything. So that's what we're kind of going to do. So that gets us over the 150,000 mark easily. And the reason why I'm doing this, just to kind of break it up a little bit, because really all we're doing in this episode is harvesting that field over there, which we currently have the worker working on, and this field over here, right? So it's just a bunch of harvesting, and since we're probably going to do another mini time-lapse over here on this field, I want to break it up a little bit and sell a few things. I think we're going to sell the harrow, and probably the sled, and then probably get rid of the production there for wood chips, and then the remaining bits we'll leave for the next episode, more than likely. I guess that's kind of where my head's at least for right now. I drilled that pole. Whoops. There's Byron in there, staring me down. We haven't had any run-ins with Byron for a while. It's been a little crazy. He was Byron and the whole crew, Scarlett and Walter White and everybody. They were a menace in the 200 horsepower challenge. An absolute menace. They've been relatively quiet here lately. Probably just jinxed ourselves, but they've been relatively quiet. Alright, so what we'll do now is I'm going to put this back into the shed here. I'll jump back over into, well, I'll run back over, I should say, over into the actual harvester itself. And I'll just do a little jump cut. I'll get most of it done. I'll be back with you when we're getting close to finishing it up. We'll probably have at least one, maybe two more trailer loads of crop to go sell. So we're easily going to surpass that $250,000 that I put down. I'm pretty positive based off of where we're at right now. We're already at 158,000. We still probably had 1/3 that field left to go. Oh boy, got a little bit too close to the wall there. Couldn't get out. There we go. All right, I will see you shortly. All right, this is the last bit, gang. The field's all done. Took us a bit, but not too bad. We're up to 191,000. Yep, 191,000. Very, very good. Very, very good indeed. So that field is done. We can sell that field. We're going to head back here. I'm going to pick up the harvester. We're going to head back to our main camp, or I say main camp, our yard. And, yeah, we'll start harvesting the oat field. All right, those were 2 long time lapses in this episode here, gang, but we had to get things done, right? We had to get some stuff done, and the best way to do that without having a 2-hour-long episode is to put some time lapses in. So that's what we did, and yeah, both these fields, well, this one's got a tiny bit left, but both these fields are pretty much done. I still have to sell the sled there, and then obviously the production for the wood chips. I said I was going to do that. It didn't. I was just going to save that to the end of the episode here. So that's kind of how we'll finish off this episode here once I'm done harvesting it. Like I mentioned earlier, we will leave the straw here on the ground. We'll utilize that to be picked up in the next episode, along with that field up there being harvested and really completing the series at that point. Now I'm just going to sell this oat to our little market stall here. I'm not going to drive it too far away. We're just going to sell it there and call it a day, I guess is what I'll say. Is that empty? Sometimes when I get out of the actual harvester, sometimes it doesn't fully unload it for whatever reason. So it is fully unloaded with 6,096 liters here of oat. It's not going to give us a ton of money, but it'll be a decent chunk here. We'll be over 200,000 for sure. Missed two little spots there of spraying, it looks like. There's a weed right there. A big old weed right in the middle. But that's alright. It's not too bad. Alright, slow down there. This thing, when it's heavy, it's a hard time stopping it. $17,695. That takes us up $209,079. I think I'm going to be way off. I think it's going to be more like 300,000 we're going to get, but we will find out. Let's unhook this. Let's hook the sled up here. We'll go sell that. And before we do that, though, we will get rid of this production here. All right, so let's go into here. Ooh, there's some nice stuff out there in the used market. Man, there's some really nice stuff out there in the used market. Nothing that we really could get with our limitation here, but that's some nice stuff out there. All right, so let's get rid of that. It's 11,000 bucks back, almost 12,000 bucks back in the bank account there. We're at 221.22. It's very nice. What I'm probably going to do while we're over here is kind of go ahead and fix up the John Deere here. We're going to fix it up anyway when we get to the end there and we sell everything, right? Just to see what we actually end up with, the total amount of everything we end up with. So I'll probably just go ahead and fix it now, even though we'll have to probably fix it up a second time before all is said and done. All right, so let's repair that. I'm repaint it too, because why not? Repair this, repaint it, sell it for 1,484 bucks. After everything's said and done, we are at $217,689 with a little bit more left to go. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. More videos in the corners for you to check out. And until next time, I'll catch you all in the next episode.